Hello, I'm Graham Horton and welcome to this video. This video is a product review for a new charger from a company called MintHouz. This is a 100 watt PD 3.0 fast charger built around gallium nitride technology. Now, gallium nitride technology is the latest iteration of charging devices. Because of the nature of gallium nitride, it is much more efficient than silicon devices. There's less power dropped across the devices that are used to rectify the AC waveform into DC within these devices, so they can be much smaller and they run a lot cooler. So a much smaller, up to 33% smaller in some cases. So this is the MintHouz PD 100 watt gallium nitride charger. Model number is RYC101G-ACC. We'll be going through the specifications, but briefly, we've got two USB-C ports which will support 100 watts individually or 45 watts each if you're using both, and you've got a USB-A port which will support up to 30 watts. We are also supplied with a very neat USB-C to USB-C cable, which is wired to give you that capability of 100 watts, which we'll demonstrate in this video. Now, these devices are fast chargers and they can be used for your mobile phones, for tablets, your earbuds, or any other USB-A or USB-C devices such as this table lamp here. It could be charged from this device. Let's unbox it and have a look exactly what you get. Current price for this in the UK is just £36.99, so real good value for money for a 100 watt dual port charger on USB-C. Let's have a look at it and see what you get. So let's unbox the product. Very simplistic packaging, of course. What we've got here is the actual 3-port charger. We have two USB-C port marked C1 and C2, and the USB-A port which has got the orange tab. Company name here, MintHouz, and on the other side we can see this is 100 watt gallium arsenide. This one is specifically for the UK, so it has the UK configuration of mains input, but you can get them with the USA input port as well. Correctly configured, of course, this is a plastic earth tab to open the shutter in a standard socket. So with the UK sockets we have a shuttered socket. This pin opens the shutter. The pins here are correctly insulated to give you this correct space between the plug and the actual conductor, and we've got the usual guard around the side so that when you're plugging this in and out you're getting the correct safety grip on this device so your fingers don't slip towards the mains potential. So correct in assumption to the British standard for this type of plug. We'll obviously just plug into the standard UK socket and it's ready to charge your devices. You also provided in the box a USB-C to USB-C cable, and you can see that it's gold plated on the outside to make it look Premier Edition, and it is wired to give you that 100 watt potential. So with Type C we can have 20 volts at up to 5 amps, so this cable is supplied to give you that rating. Now, a quick word about charging cables. Not all charging cables are created equal, so you can't assume that if you've got a charging cable you are going to get the full power delivery. It depends on the size of conductors in the cable itself. So something like this, which is again a USB-A to USB-C cable, you can't expect this to deliver the full potential of 30 watts through the USB-A port. The cable is just too small. There's so much volt drop across this that you're not going to charge at full potential, and there's a possibility of actually causing a fire with these small cables. So it's better to use a cable which is rated for the appliance you're using. I'll demonstrate that in a moment with the USB-A and USB-C power delivery meters. I'm going to demonstrate charging a smartphone. This is a Pixel Google 9 XL. I'm going to be charging it from the MintHouz charger using their supplied cable, and it's about 1 meter long, which is sufficient for most purposes. Going to be using the C1 output, which is identical to the C2. Both of these will deliver 100 watts or 45 watts in combination. So let me just plug this into C1, and I'll plug this into the USB-C charging port of the Google Pixel. And you can see on the bottom it says 15% fast charging, and it will take 1.5 hours to fully charge the battery in this device. We can have a look at the charging current. So I'm going to plug in a meter to show you the charging current. So you can see on the desktop I've got the MintHouz 3-port charger. I'm using the USB-C Type 1 port. So you can see here on the desktop I plugged in the MintHouz charger. We've got the meter here which is measuring the current and voltage from the charger to the Google Pixel. When you plug them in, there's a communication between the two devices, and they ask each other, what is the maximum voltage you can provide me with, and then it will give you the correct current. So at the moment the two have polled together and come up with the idea that they're going to use 18 volts and 1.85 amps, which is a total of 33 watts being charged into the phone. Now here on the desktop I've got my Apple iPod mini, which is fully depleted. You can see on the screen it's showing you a full empty battery. I'm going to plug in the charger. The two will negotiate between each other, so this meter is now powered up, and the negotiation is determining that at the moment we're going to be using 5 volts to charge the unit and 2.8 amps, which has given us a total of 15 watts. So at the moment the device is charging at the rate of 15 watts. So this is higher than the normal 2 amps or 2.4 that you normally get from USB-A. So from the power delivery port we're managing to take now 15 watts. By comparison, I'm charging the iPad mini now through the USB-A port, and again I've got a meter in series with the device. Negotiated 5.14 volts at 1.48 amps, so just under 9 watts using the USB-A port. It's much better if you can use your USB-C port. You will charge your device much quicker. Again, the two devices will negotiate. So it started at 5, it's now boosting up to 15 volts at 15 watts. So the iPad is charging at the rate it's intended to at 15 watts. If you were to charge a lower power device such as this table lamp here, I plug that into the USB-C port. You should probably find this only negotiates at 5 volts and charging at 0.8 of an amp. So 4 watts to charge these lower devices. So the two devices communicate and determine the actual voltage levels that each one needs. The actual device itself incorporates quite a few safety features, which is important if you're going to be leaving these unattended. It is plastic, but it is that flame-proof plastic, so it isn't going to burst into flames. It has inbuilt temperature sensors, which will actually shut down the device in the case of overheating for whatever reason, maybe a shorted cable or something. It will actually shut down the device and prevent further damage. On the screen now you can see the actual specifications for this device to give you some idea of the potential that this device has in enabling you to charge a multitude of devices. So there we are, that is the MintHouz PD 3.0 100 watts gallium nitride charger, and it's available on the UK Amazon website, currently at £37 or £36.99. I'll put links to the product in the video description below if you'd like to purchase the product. Thanks to MintHouz for supplying this for me to review for you. It was supplied free of charge, but of course that doesn't colour my reviews. If there's an issue with these devices, then you get to know about them in my reviews. I do not accept scripts. I'm not told what I can and cannot say. If there are issues with the device, I do let you know in this video. Thanks for watching. Please do take care, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye for now.